Greetings, my fellow freedom lovers, sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful Swampy Mango, South Florida. And today's date is Monday, March 26, 2018. Yep, officially my computer is kicked the bucket. Well, that's how it goes, but I can't complain. I'm on my cell phone. So hopefully the signal will come out good. May not be perfect, but you know what? The show must go on, right? Yeah, I've been very busy for almost the past week. And I haven't really had time to do a show, and I apologize for that once again. Hey, I'm a working class individual myself, so I am at the Poorhouse, located at 110 Southwest 3rd Avenue in the Hermitage District of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The coolest place in town. And if you're in the area, can stop by March 30th, which is this Friday. It's a good local band called Ether. And you can say they're very neurosis influenced, and they even claim they like the I Hate God, the sludge style metal. Plus, they're going to be playing with I Hate God on Easter Sunday at O'Malley's, which, sports bar. That's how far I'm going to go. They'll be playing with them, Cro-Mags, and another local favorite is called Shroud Eater. Three-piece group from Miami, part of Miami, Florida. So it'll be a fun show. So if you want to be blasphemous, so be it. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about this one particular episode, one particular segment here. I got it. Actually, I read it Sunday morning. It came out like 12:30 a.m. And got it from a person that's from Florida Carry on their Facebook page. Good organization, check it out. And this is mainly about the so-called revolution, which the March for Our Lives actually should be called March for Totalitarianism or March Towards Our Deaths. Because I did post on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus for the New American stating that March for Our Lives is astroturf, the big lie. In other words, a synthetic movement. And there are plenty. Alex Newman did a great article on it, and it has a great amount of links, especially under the Florida records, which is amazing because it was proven that CT Corporation, based in Plantation, was the accountant for this cause. So if you believe it's all started by children, you ain't seen nothing yet. You just gotta read the article, check out the links, and some of you may be surprised. Others will say it's nothing new at all. So go on my Facebook page, check it out, and it's very interesting. I can thank the Florida 10th Amendment Center for putting it out there, for posting that. And so, hey, it's nothing new. That's why I tell everybody in my past episodes, when it comes to institutions, entities, and movements, expect infiltrators, provocateurs, or some shysters behind the curtain. That's just part of humanity, human nature. You always got to have those con folks out there will try to sell you your product and think it's for the good cause, but in reality, it can bite you in the rear end when least expected. In other words, blowback. So, without further ado, I'm going to be talking about Welcome to the Revolution. Well, okay then. And it was been posted by pursuitofpatriotism.com. And like I said, I have issues for the time being of using it as my footnotes, but just look that up by Philip Evans from pursuitofpatriotism.com.blogspot.com. And it reads here, Welcome to the Revolution is what I imagine some of the rebellion colonists saying to the British Redcoats, at least in their minds, right before putting some holes threw the Redcoats back in 1775. Yesterday, a junior at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, Cameron Kasky, said those words while standing on stage at the March for Our Lives event in Washington, D.C. David Hogg raised his fist in the event as a symbol of the revolution. And just what are they revolting against? They are protesting against the liberty that free American citizens have to possess so-called assault weapons. That made-up term is a bastardization of the legitimate phrase assault rifle. The U.S. Army defines assault rifle, first of all, as a selected fire weapon, meaning that a single trigger pull can fire multiple rounds. The AR-15, which is an armor-light rifle, cannot do this, and therefore is not an assault rifle under the military's definition, and therefore cannot be considered an assault weapon, whatever that's supposed to mean. The AR-15, just like all semi-automatic rifles, fires a single round per each pull of the trigger. It accepts detachable magazines, which holds various amounts of ammo depending on how long they are. Keep that last sentence in mind when reading the next paragraph. Their Marxist lawmakers are now crafting laws with clever wording which bans all rifles that can accept a detachable magazine which can hold more than 10 rounds. There's a train going by on the other side of this complex, so sorry about that, my friends. But how is a rifle know how long an ammo magazine is? If it can't accept a short one, it can accept a long one. Because they all do is just stick out from the bottom of the rifle. There is no mechanism of any semi-automatic rifle in production that can limit. I'll turn the page over. It's all printed out. Did it today. A rifle's ability to accept detachable magazines based on length. So where did I find such sly wording? In Florida. And there's a thing on here from the Proposal Commissioners 2017-03 Amendment. And they have another for Ohio, but we'll read the one from Florida. I just put this out here. Came from March 21st, the second floor. March 21st of this year, 2:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The CRC Action, which stands for Constitutional Revision Commission. All right, Commissioner Smith moved the following. CRC with title amendment. Delete everything after the proposal and clause and insert. Sections 2 and 8 of Article 1 of the state constitution are amended to read. Article 1, Declaration of Rights. Section 2, Basic Rights. All natural persons, female and male alike, are equal before the law and have inalienable rights, among which are the right to enjoy and defend life and liberty, to pursue happiness, to be rewarded for industry, and to acquire, possess, and protect property. All right? Except, and they cross this out from the beginning, except that the ownership, inheritance, disposition, and possession of real property by aliens ineligible for citizenship may be regulated or prohibited by law. So they cross all that out. No person shall be deprived of any right because of race, religion, national origin, or physical disability. So what they're saying, if a person's a legal resident, okay, those properties, so forth, can be there's an exception. They want to really cross that out. All right, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And in addition, here's what Section A has to say: right to bear arms. A, the right of the people to keep and bear arms in defense of themselves and of lawful authority of the state shall not be infringed, except that matter of bearing arms may be regulated by law. See, that's a contradiction there. Infringe and regulate are oppositions. Opposite words. Antonyms, to be exact. So, Section B says here, shall be a mandatory 3-day waiting period excluding weekends and legal holidays between the purchases and delivery of any handgun. See, when you see right there, these like remember Rick Scott signed that bill, which is SB 7026, where they say the rifles got to be 3-day waiting periods at the state level, which is unconstitutional because it has to be voted on. Because this was passed in November 1980. I was 19 years old. I voted no on this. Okay, just to give you guys some historical facts. For the purpose of this section, purchase means the transfer of money or other valuable consideration to the retailer and handgun means a firearm capable of being carried and used by one hand, such as a pistol or revolver. Holders of a concealed weapons permit, as prescribed in Florida law, shall not be subject to the provisions of this paragraph. So, right to bear arms, they have to have a permit. What does that mean? A privilege, and it contradicts the basic rights of Article 1, Section 2 of the Florida Constitution. I did talk about that in one of my archive episodes. You can check it out. I think it's entitled, Does the Concealed Weapons Permit or Program violates Article 1 of our Florida Constitution? Okay, so just give you guys, you can look it up, it's in there. It came out like late 2017. So I will carry on. C. The legislature shall enact legislation implementing subsection B of this section, effective no later than December 31st, 1991, which shall provide that anyone violating the provision of the subject shall be guilty of a felony. So it's called a victimless crime law, right? This restriction shall not apply to trade in of another gun. And this is what they added E, okay? It's all going to be underlined. The sale or transfer of assault weapons as defined in this subsection is prohibited. Okay, so it's actually, if you own a so-called assault weapon, that's violating your basic rights. A lot of contradictions here, okay? You have to double speak. This legislation may enact legislation consistent with the subsection and may provide exceptions to the prohibition on the transfer of assault weapons legally possessed prior to this effective date of the subsection. For this purpose of the section, the term transfer means convey of an assault weapon from a person or entity to another person or entity without any associated conveyance or money or other valuable consideration. And the term assault weapon means a semi-automatic rifle that is able to accept a detachable magazine, belt, drum, feed strip, or similar device that is capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition, or that had a fixed magazine capable of holding more than 10 rounds of ammunition. So, right there, my friend. Right there, if you read the paragraph about assault rifles, what does it mean? Exactly. It's all contradictory, because the truth of the matter is the U.S. Army's defines assault weapon, first of all, as a selective firearm, meaning that a single trigger pull can fire multiple rounds. The AR-15 doesn't do that. A lot of doublespeak, can we say, correct? Absolutely. So the title amendment as follows, deleting everything before the proposal of the clause inserted. A proposal to amend sections 2 and 8 of Article 1 of the state constitution to remove a provision authorizing a law that regulate or prohibit the ownership, inheritance, deposition, and possession of real property by aliens ineligible for citizenship, and to prohibit the sale and transfer of assault weapons. You know what I say? Stick it up their rear ends. Plain and simple. Because they don't want to delete all that. And what's funny, because they didn't delete here about real property, right? Yeah, of course. That's how these vultures think. It's funny because they crossed out except the ownership or inheritance, deposition of real property, and all that by aliens ineligible for citizenship. They want to. That's the amendment. They want to make it like technically a sanctuary state. All right, and don't get me wrong, on the 10th Amendment issue, it's very, this is very leery because the truth of the matter is, it's contradicting your basic rights of owning a semi-automatic weapon. All right, so right there, the person who wrote this, Commissioner Smith, is talking out of his rectum. And I say that out of love. He's trying to sell you a product that, it is a very good, you look good in those pants, and it is horrible. Okay? That's how these people, they believe you're going to be a bunch of illiterates and telling you what they know because they're lawyers, allegedly speaking. I could be mistaken, but this is like a lawyer terminology. Trying to con a con man. All right? And let's check out the one in Ohio. It's interesting about that. It looks like it's very identical to what they actually want to propose. It looks like they've been, like sharing information on their private emails, right? So we're gonna check this out here, and this one is from Ohio. As introduced as SB number 260, and it says here Sanders, Skindle, Travers, co-sponsor Senator Brown, Yuko, Thomas, Williams, and Sykes. A bill to amend Section 109.52 and to enact Sections 109.67 and 2923.717 of the revised code to prohibit a person from knowingly possessing or acquiring an assault weapon and to require for the Attorney General to prepare for the establishment of a firearm and ammunition transactions database. We say right of privacy, natural-born rights can be affected, violates their own state constitution, which I have to look at it myself. I haven't seen it. I'm just winging it right now, but I wouldn't be surprised. And it says here, by being enacted by the General Assembly by the state of Ohio, that Section 109.52 can be amended, and Sections 109.76 and 2923.171 of the revised code be enacted to read as follows. As this is Section 109.52. Bureau of the Criminal Investigation may operate and maintain a criminal analysis laboratory and mobile units thereof, create a staff of investigators and technicians skilled in the solution and control of crimes and criminal activity, keep statistics and other necessity data, maintain a firearm and ammunition transactions database. You heard that? Spying on you if you own firearms. Assist. Okay, now it's not underlined. Assist in the prevention of crime and engage in other activities as will aid law enforcement. So let's go on here. Officers involving in solving crime and controlling the criminal activity. This is brand new right now. It goes all the way down. Let me see. Yeah, this is all brand new until I'll let you know. And it says here, Section 109.67. Attorney General shall prepare for the establishment and operation of a firearm and ammunition transactions database that will be maintained by the Bureau of Criminal Identification and Investigation. The Attorney General shall establish the database in conformity with the requirements or any act that is enacted by the General Assembly. And it says here, Section 2923.171, A, no person shall knowingly possess or acquire any assault weapon. So, as this is going to be declared as a victimless crime bill. All right, and B, Division A of this section does not apply to any of the following. 1. Officers, agents, or employees of this or any other state or the United States, members of the armed forces of the United States, or organized militia of this or any other state or law enforcement officers to the extent that the officer, agent, employer, or member is authorized to possess or acquire an assault weapon is an acting within the scope of the officer's agents, employees, or members' duties. So if you're not in these brackets, you be the bad guy, and they are, if you work with a government institution, not an organized militia, but the governmental delegates, you are accepted. So the government has more power over the people. unorganized militia. All right? I'll continue on here. 2, a manufacturer or importer of assault weapons that is licensed as a licensed manufacturer or licensed importer under the Gun Control Act of 1968, 82 statute 1223, 18 U.S. Code, Section 1921, its sequence, and any amendments or additions thereto or reenactments thereof. All right, so they're going to use all this other garbage. All right, I call it garbage, yes. 3, carriers, warehouses, and others engaged in the business of transporting or storing firearms for hire with respect to assault weapons, lawfully transported or stored in the usual course of business and in compliance with the laws of the state and applicable federal law. Whoever violates the division A of this section, flip this over, guilty of use unlawful possession of an assault weapon, a felony of the 5th degree. So another victimless crime referendum. If there's no victim, how's that a crime? Another example of saying your basic rights or natural born rights in Ohio can be breached because they believe they are smarter than you. D, as used in this section, assault weapon means an automatic firearm that has not been rendered permanently inoperable, a semi-automatic weapon capable of accepting a detachable magazine with the capacity to accept 10 or more cartridges, and a semi-automatic weapon firearm with a fixed magazine with the capability to accept 10 or more cartridges. All right, that's what they're amending to this bill. Section 2, the existing action of 109.52 of the revised code is hereby repealed. So it looks like some of these folks are like, washing one hand to the other. That's how I look at with these 2 referendums, and it's really touchy because they're they want to actually support victimless crime bills, and why and who benefits from it? Corrupt governments, organized crime, and the private prison industry. And I say that out of respect. Private prison industry. Yeah, we need more people. We need more people to lock up. We gotta fill at least 85% to get the quota. So, something you gotta really look at. Have Florida and Ohio been comparing notes? The vast majority of all brands and models of semi-automatic rifles accept detachable magazines. So this would be a ban of hundreds of different kinds of rifles, not just AR-15. The sheer number of them are in multiple millions. Let me make something clear, something the NRA does not have the guts to do. Even fully automatic assault rifles should be freely owned by any free American citizen whose desire to. They are valid anti-tyranny devices, and the guard against tyranny is the purpose for which the Second Amendment was written. Not duck hunting, not deer hunting, and not merely for the protection against robbers in your home. It is an anti-tyranny amendment. And even I like to add this to it. The 9th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution is about enumeration of rights. Certain rights should not be disparaged, despaired, or deprived. Natural born rights. Now, when they raise their fist and threaten a revolution against millions of peacefully armed citizens, how do they think they will win? By merely passing laws against us? No, they intend to use those laws to send others against us with their guns. This proves their threat of a revolution is a threat of violence. Not for all citizens, me included, will peacefully turn over their farms to the government, since not all citizens will acquiesce to tyranny. You see, right before war broke out in 1775, the British redcoats were seizing barrels of gunpowder from citizen storehouses, and they were going from town to town, threatening to burn down the town if the people did not turn over their rifles. The past is today's greatest teacher, folks. We've already been down this road, and we've already rejected the demand of tyrants to be disarmed. when they whine and shed tears about the new safety rule in their Broward County schools requiring backpacks to be transparent, they say, "Why are you punishing me for one person's actions?" Exactly. Why should millions of good citizens be punished and stripped of their peacefully owned and lawfully used property just because of an act of one evil person at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School on February 14th? The irony must evade them. I wonder how many of those teenagers actually know the meaning of the word irony. At this point, I don't know how many government boots will be willing to march on American soil and kill citizens over their possession of certain rifles that offended the teenage protesters. A fair number is what I would guess. However, just to be sure they win this revolution, they are calling for their supportive politicians and the protesters themselves should probably bring their own guns. Then maybe we can get this thing settled once again, at least for the next 240 years. Say when. Very interesting, I would say, indeed. Remember, friends, the prohibition of the 1920s failed. And these so-called laws can be overturned by jury nullification. That's what we have in this country, a three-voting system. Vote in the ballot box, the grand jury box, and the trial jury box. Yes, everything can be nullified. One person can hang a jury and adjourn a jury trial. And grand jury, if I'm correct, a lot of things are different, but you have to be unanimous on prosecuting. Will these protesters, these rhetoricians, go on the front line and go, "Let's take the people's firearms away"? That's the question I have for the so-called superstars. I said this before, and many people said the same thing about the Hitler Youth. They're real concerned. You can't blame them. Same thing with Pol Pot. When he ran the Khmer Rouge, told the children, the older people, put this in these poor conditions. You gotta take care of it. You gotta torture them, murder them. 3.5 million people were slaughtered in the killing fields of Cambodia. Look it up. They used gun control, thick disarmament to get their way. That's just an example when it comes to government. If you trust them, you will be duped, bamboozled, or swindled. And when I do a podcast like this, I speak out of principle. I have a coworker of mine whose daughter was at that school at Parkland. What happened? Very disturbing. His daughter's in Germany, and she talked about things have to change. It was very beautiful, and she was sad and in tears. Things do have to change, but the direction, what they're trying to lead by the synthetic movement, March for Our Lives, is a real totalitarianism, democide. We have to start looking at ourselves as individuals. We gotta create people themselves. Gotta restructure the family. Too many broken families. States telling us how to raise our kids. Big Pharma getting involved and teaching them on giving them certain drugs, especially people with emotionally disturbed individuals. I can say I've been there. I know how it is. My mother's very vigilant in these areas, and my father as well. I thank them both for that. Not really talk about my past during that time. We got to change our diets. Love one another. Don't let the TV, the video games be the babysitters. Start talking to one another. Watch things together. Read. Educate our children. Parents got to be the rabbis and teachers too. Even an individual like myself, I don't have any children, but I love talking to young people. I remember even some of the shows I went to. I go to a lot of hardcore punk and metal shows, punk rock shows. I always chat with the young guys, young men and women. And today they give me a big hug, say hi, I'm doing, they love me. And sometimes I don't even think about it. I just do what's right. I always treat people as individuals. And we do gotta love each other, love our neighbors, and love ourselves. I'm not trying to be a preacher, but it is logical. There's so much hatred out there. We still gotta protect our loved ones. And I know, like, there's many states out there that are doing arming teachers and fast responders. I do support it. And the school system and the teachers should start networking with these individuals from other states. You gotta look at the pros and cons. Everything's a human element. Doesn't mean everyone going out being Rambo. No. Do it on a main reason. It's to love one another. Why do you have the firearms are a tool? I'm just get disturbed when I see good people can't do a damn thing, and the state wants to prosecute, wants to witch hunt. You have these witch hunting parasites. Doesn't matter what paradigm they're in. And they want to put the blame on one particular group or person or organization. Especially people who are governmental delegates, like Sheriff Scott Israel. Well, it's real defensive. He didn't have the courage to look in the damn mirror and go, my guy screwed up, I failed. But like I said before, he's a federalized sheriff. And I talked about it in my other past episodes too, when I got all this information on what happened. And even on the suspect Nicholas Cruz. I still question if this is a Gladio attack, because even some of the other students and one of the teachers claim, some say multiple shooters. Another claimed that the one person looked like a police officer. One teacher looked like Good Morning America. You can look it up yourself. But the whole thing is, we gotta look at ourselves. We gotta, as individuals, go back, change our diet, eat honorable food, have natural remedies, homeopathic medicines, not from the big pharmaceutical cartel. There are enough cases. I see this pattern over and over again. Since 1991, all these shootings. Late William Cooper talked about this in page 225 of his book, Behold a Pale Horse. And I've read that on my shows a few times. You can look it up. I'm not talking smack. So, that's the start. Love yourselves. Love yourself. Love your fellow brothers and sisters out there. Your neighbors, as you love yourself. Always going to expect distorted individuals. Hey, I see it out here all the time. Try not to condemn the person. The actions, yes. But you got individuals out there, they choose poorly. They need to take responsibility for their actions instead of pointing the other finger. And even the parents, everyone else, got to stop relying on the state to solve their problems. Calling the police on one another is a waste of energy. I do recall one time when I was living in Victoria Park, this guy goes, "Can I use your phone? My battery died." And he called the police on this girl he knew. twice. What the hell is his problem? And she decided to go, oh, I'm going to effing kill myself in the middle of Holiday Park. The police took her in under the Baker Act. Resolve your problems within yourself and within your own homes. Nothing's going to be perfect, but communication is the key to spiritual prosperity. I know I'm ranting, but forgive me. I just like to let this out. So, we cannot rely on the state to take care of our own personal problems. We gotta start doing things internally. Resurrect the family structure. I'm a drifter myself, but I do like talking to my family members and all that. We gotta worry about pettiness. Flush it down the toilet. Take a dump in the toilet and flush it. So, that's really it. I thank everyone for listening. Plus, feel free to download and share us with social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, or you want to send something that's interesting you want to check out, wherever you do, please address your correspondence with decorum. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, YouTube, Freedoms Network, Minds.com, Patreon.com/LuckyLuck3. And if I'm correct, Gab, GAB.ai. If you're one of those individuals that's for free speech, it's more of a freer version of Twitter. I hope I got all those in there. I don't have my other stuff. But just look up Loki Look 3, number 3, or Roman numeral 3. You'll find me. Especially on Google, Bing, and DuckDuckGo, Star Page. You can use those. All right. In addition, you can email me at LookALook3@gmail.com, or to you ones who are decrypted folks, if you have a Proton Mail account, you get me on LookALook numbers 03@protonmail.com. All right, my friends. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is something for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading the love. And may your guardian spirits be with you.